Hi, my name is Faye Short, and I am the founder of Foundation Education Inc., also known as Foundation Ed Inc. So today, I want to talk to you about our Teen Health and Wellness Workshop, and I'm going to present that to you today. But before I do that, I want to talk to you a little bit about my program, Foundation Ed Inc. So we understand that the schools and the educational system focus primarily on academics. And we definitely don't want to take the academics away from our youth. That is greatly important in their success in the future. We just want to add another building block to that. And with the schools already focusing their attention on academics, we ask that the school system outsource the need for communication skill building, healthy relationship building, coping skills, life skills, and capacity buildings to our program, Foundation Ed Inc. What we do is we bring those skills to the youth through our evidence-based programs, and we teach them positive youth development. So that was a little bit about Foundation Education Inc. And hopefully after viewing this presentation, you'll be able to work with us and we can collaborate in the future on a teen health and wellness workshop that will be able to reach more youth across Rutherford County and Murfreesboro City. So the Teen Health and Wellness Workshop, it was designed to fall in line with the Tennessee Sex Education Bill. We do discuss abstinence in our wellness workshop. And as you can see in our timeline, we make it about 2 hours long. We don't try to extend it for 2 hours because of the attention span. After our introduction and our safe place rules, we go into our main topic, which is healthy bodies. For our healthy bodies discussion, we talk about the basic developments that happen between the ages of 9 to 15 years old for girls and boys, what kind of emotions and feelings may take place. We also discuss relationships with others of the opposite sex, intimate relationships at that time, and how to build a healthy relationship. So that will be our next slide. The healthy relationship topic is one of my favorite topics to discuss with the youth. I really get a lot of feedback from them, really responsive to the youth when we discuss the different types of relationships that we develop through our lives. Our relationship with our teacher, our coach, our doctor, our employer, our parents, even our partners and significant others in our lives. We also then discuss how those relationships can turn bad and how we can keep those relationships good. So we list those characteristics. We ask for people to volunteer to let us know what are some things that may turn a relationship bad for you in a particular situation. And for example, I did have one student who volunteered to discuss his relationship that he had with his girlfriend at the time. He was about 14 or 15 years old. He had asked her a question and she refused to answer the question for him. And so therefore he decided to go ahead and end the relationship. And that's what caused the relationship to go bad because he was being ignored by the girl he was dating. So the class found that very interesting, and it gives the students a chance to open up and get feedback on what they're going through in their own personal lives. Explaining the good and the bad of a healthy relationship leads into what a healthy dating relationship looks like. And for some people, they have not had the opportunity to actually see a healthy dating relationship. So we open up the floor and we ask students, how would you like to be treated by someone that you're dating? We talk about morals. We talk about values. We talk about where we learn those morals and those values from our parents, from our caregivers, from people that love us and want to see us do well in life, and how to gain respect from the person that you're dating and have them honor your morals and your values. Teaching our youth how to open up to the person that they're interested in about their morals and values and about what they desire in a relationship teaches them communication skills, how to talk one-to-one to their peers, how to be honest with them, and how to develop good ways of relating to one another. It also teaches them compatibility with one another and respect for one another. So here we also discuss in bad relationships, unhealthy relationships, dating abuse. It's not a topic that most people like to discuss, but it is just as important as the healthy relationship topics and morals and values as well. Here we list some harmful emotional behaviors and some harmful physical behaviors. We discuss rape, we discuss physical abuse, emotional abuse. We discuss all of those topics so that our youth get a clear idea of what will make a relationship be bad and unhealthy for them to carry on. We also discuss some leading factors that could be signals that the relationship may turn to be unhealthy. For instance, if your partner or whomever you were dating decides that they don't want to hang out with their friends, they don't want you to hang out with your friends anymore, or they don't want you to be able to go anywhere without them. They limit your time that you're able to spend with your family and others, or they call you names. Those are definitely warning signs of an unhealthy relationship. And it's much harder to leave an unhealthy relationship later on down the line than in the beginning. So we want to make sure that we identify those things on the front end. That way we can reduce intimate partner violence in our youth relationships. The remaining slides before we close go into the topic of abstinence and the reason why abstinence before marriage is important. So we ask questions. Why do people make the choice to be sexually active? Why do people make the choice to be sexually active? And we just listen to the feedback of the youth, and we help them think logically about what they're saying. And we listen. This is a time that we open up and we listen because this is very important when it comes to teen pregnancy prevention. And we just want to keep that in mind. So we just leave the floor open for the kids to discuss why they would choose not to have sex, and why they would choose to have sex here. And we just go from there and we give feedback on that to the youth. We also discuss the differences in consent and coercion with our youth. Many don't know that there is a difference, and many times a person may not even be willing to be sexually active with someone, but due to the pressure that they're receiving, they go ahead and have sex, which that really is not consent. That's actually being coerced into having sex versus consenting. So it's really against that person's will. And we want to talk about that and explain the difference between the two. So we follow that with a video recorded by a police department that they have shown to their teens in that community that helps them know the difference between consent and coercion.
If you're still struggling with consent, just imagine instead of initiating sex, you're making them a cup of tea. You say, "Hey, would you like a cup of tea?" And they go, "Oh my God, I would love a cup of tea, thank you." Then you know they want a cup of tea. If you say, "Hey, would you like a cup of tea?" And they're like, I'm not really sure. Then you can make them a cup of tea, or not, but be aware that they might not drink it. And if they don't drink it, then, and this is the important bit, don't make them drink it. Just because you made it doesn't mean you're entitled to watch them drink it. And if they say, "No thank you," then don't make them tea. At all. Just don't make them tea. Don't make them drink tea. Don't get annoyed at them for not wanting tea. They just don't want tea, okay? They might say, "Yes, please, that's kind of you." And then when the tea arrives, they actually don't want the tea at all. Sure, that's kind of annoying as you've gone to all the effort of making the tea, but they remain under no obligation to drink the tea. They did want tea, now they don't. Some people change their mind in the time it takes to boil the kettle, brew the tea, and add the milk. And it's okay for people to change their mind, and you are still not entitled to watch them drink it. And if they are unconscious, don't make them tea. Unconscious people don't want tea, and they can't answer the question, "Do you want tea?" because they're unconscious. Okay, maybe they were conscious when you asked them if they wanted tea, and they said yes, but in the time it took you to boil the kettle or brew the tea and add the milk, they are now unconscious. You should just put the tea down, make sure the unconscious person is safe, and this is the important part again, don't make them drink the tea. They said yes then, sure, but unconscious people don't want tea. If someone said yes to tea, started drinking it, and then passed out before they'd finished it, don't keep on pouring it down their throat. Take the tea away. Make sure they are safe, because unconscious people don't want tea. Trust me on this. If someone said yes to tea around your house last Saturday, that doesn't mean they want you to make them tea all the time. They don't want you to come around to their place unexpectedly and make them tea and force them to drink it, going, "But you wanted tea last week," or to wake up to find you pouring tea down their throat going, "But you wanted tea last night." If you can understand how completely ludicrous it is to force people to have tea when they don't want tea, and you are able to understand when people don't want tea, then how hard is it to understand when it comes to sex? Whether it's tea or sex, consent is everything. And on that note, I'm going to make myself a cup of tea.
We also talk about sexually transmitted diseases and infections. Our information comes from the fact sheet from the Centers of Disease Control offered to youth on their website. We talk about pregnancy and unplanned pregnancy and things to consider. What can happen? What can go wrong? Are you ready to be a parent? We talk about some of the options that are available in case there is an unplanned pregnancy. We end our teen health and wellness workshop by reiterating the benefits of refraining from sexual activity, which doing so can have economic, emotional, psychological, and physical benefits if you refrain, which we discuss, and our youth has a thorough explanation of that once the workshop is completed. And in this slide, you'll see a collage of our Teen Health and Wellness Workshop from 2018 that was hosted at the Boys and Girls Club. Again, my name is Faye Short. I thank you for viewing the presentation. I hope that it has been informative, and I look to collaborating with you in the future. Thank you.